When we started, you say that we don't need to make agriculture attractive to the youth. And that begs the question, because the age of our farmers, I think it's in the 60s. So that means we need more young people to be involved in agriculture. So the question is, what is the right way? I say this because universities, especially like Egerton, provide like agricultural educations to students, but I'm not sure if they are actually preparing these students to be farmers or to be involved within the value chain. So what is the best way then to get these young people involved in agriculture?
When you want to make something attractive to someone, it means they're not interested in it, or they have not identified someone who has succeeded in that. Okay, I'll use this analogy. Most of us think that agriculture is the only way to solve unemployment. So we've already started from a wrong footing, totally. Yeah. How many students are out there who have studied agriculture but don't have jobs? I'll tell you, in the last 10 years, close to 330,000. So if I tell someone I want to make agriculture attractive, and I have not even made it attractive to somebody who has studied it, it's already wrong. What is this attraction that we want the young people to get into? You see, agriculture is an inherited, is something that is generational. If you go abroad, the young people who are in agriculture is because they've found systems established for them. So for them, it is the next steps. I was watching Warren Buffett's son is a farmer, a very good farmer, but he's not the guy who looks like he spends a lot of his time on a tractor, but that tractor is automated. So you see that for then his son to take it up is easy, because he's not seeing like it's hard work. So for us to make sure that young farmers are adopting and taking it up as a career or as a business, it has to make sense to them. How does it make sense to them? They need to see when they go to hang out, and in fact, there's a video of just one of the videos that we were creating. I was like, where do farmers ever hang out? Just imagine if we had this scenario where 10 of us would be like, exactly, 10 of us would be like, hey, we're going to that farm for a barbecue, or we're going to meet everybody from the market, freshen up, let's go and meet somewhere and just enjoy, because that's life. That's why you find doctors having a party, lawyers having these. So if you want to how do you make it attractive? By telling them it is a djembe, it is this, it is this. We're not modernizing anything. Drone services for farmers. In fact, the drone services for farmers is only when you have 50 acres and above. Okay? And again, I still go back to the statement I said. Farming is like marriage. It's not for everyone. So not all the youths are interested in that. Okay? So we need to ask ourselves, how much money will a young person make in farming when they get into farming? And for me, I'm very excited to see what is happening, like this podcast. I'm seeing quite a lot of content being shared out there. Is because when I started, 5 years after I started, I actually told myself this revolution is going to be televised. But at the same time, the agriculture farming is linked to poverty. It's linked automatically to poverty, and when it's already linked to poverty, it doesn't make sense. Most of the videos I do for farming, it's actually my kids who actually do it, and they enjoy doing it because they're learning a lot of it. They're learning a lot. What then I need to do is to make sure that they're seeing money at the end of it. For us, as we were growing, our fathers were still paying mortgage. You finished even high school and your dad is still paying mortgage. But for us, we want in 5 years I've paid mortgage. So it means our kids will want to do it in 2 years. Or if they're seeing that this mortgage is not really, this owning a house is just hype, they will not even think of owning it. So if you're in the real estate business and your kids you don't show them why this is important, it also goes back to our education system. Our education system, agriculture is not a core part of it because it is not clean. But when you go out and somebody gives you 20,000, can you say this was money from farming? It's dirty. It is still money. So making it attractive to the youth, let's start with those who are in it. For example, somebody comes and tells you, now, Brian, we want you to go and talk to the students doing journalism so that they can start agri-journalism. They'll be in the industry. So you can imagine if you want to interview 47 different farmers from 47 different counties, then you need to have contacts, somebody in each of those counties. You get the scenario. So that one, you'll be saying it's attractive. So if I can build agricultural content, it's attractive. People will be able to pay because it's already it's a very interesting part of the yes.
Yeah, and I think it's quite interesting, like to have that different perspective of saying, hey, instead of making it attractive to them, how about we show them that, hey, this is actually what you can gain.
And also, you mentioned about the universities. I get students from some of these universities, and they come in and they have no idea. But imagine if a university that is, for example, Egerton, is very best place to even produce milk and package it and take to market.
I think they usually have like yogurts they produce within that.
But imagine if they could be able to absorb 50% of the students who are doing dairy farming, the agriculture courses. And that is not only people who are doing livestock only. There are people who are also doing horticulture, who can be able to grow fodder for these animals. Okay, and I was saying Kenya is a research country because we don't have industries then to absorb. So you can imagine you have coffee. This student who they planted that coffee when they were first year. In 4 years when they're finishing, that coffee is ready. On the 5th year when they're graduating, they start working in that coffee factory. 6th year when they're doing the internship, they have finished product. They can actually look at that journey, and they don't need to own the farm. They can just need to be part of that. They'll be just that person, their child will do that course. The syllabus is still the old syllabus. And it's not like law where it changes. No. Who makes law attractive to the young people? It's the lawyers themselves. So if we as farmers don't showcase, and it goes back to the way I mentioned about farming in relation to marriage. Even now, marriages are failing. Young people are not attracted to it. Yeah, so there's making it attractive. It's a lot of work, but just has to look good for it to work.